Street Fighter looks like a fighting game, but the fighting is just the surface. In reality, Street Fighter is a two-dimensional mental game, and we're gonna talk about both of them today. But before I start, I need to say that I'm not a pro. I'm not actually even good at the game. I'm bad. But I have been watching a lot of videos, and I have been watching a lot of replays of my own matches to find my weaknesses. In reality, yesterday I was watching a video that had both Jason Wong and Mena talking about Street Fighter and what was the hardest fighting game among a bunch of fighting games that were Tekken champions on the table as well. And one thing Mena said really struck with me, which was Street Fighter 6 is the hardest game there is because for you to win, you need to win 14 rock, paper, scissors in a row. And even though that seems random, the fact that winning 14 rock, paper, scissors in a row is random, it actually isn't. There are a lot of studies around rock, paper, scissors, mind games, and what you should play after the first round so you have a higher chance of winning. But before we start talking about the mental side of it, let's talk about why people think Street Fighter is a fighting game. The marketing, the visuals, everything, everybody tells you it's about executing combos, it's about punching people in the face. And beginners, such as myself, experience that daily. You lose and you feel like you lost because you missed input something. You missed your combo. The matchup was messed up. There was no way for you to win. So it's all about the execution theory really holds up for a long time. Then you hit a wall, which I've heard is around plat and diamond, and execution stops being the bottleneck. So the shift starts to happen and you start to notice that you're losing matches that you should be winning. Sometimes you lose and you check the other player's profile and you see that they have a lot less hours than you. So in theory, if you practice more, your execution should be better, right? And sometimes it is. So why are you losing? Something else is wrong. And there's also the second part, which is the tilt. Sometimes you start to get frustrated after losing, after missing a combo, after missing putting something, after doing a move you knew was wrong and then you get punished for it and you lose. And the more frustrated you get, the more mistakes you make. You go for a risky read because your ego doesn't accept the safe option. It doesn't accept that you are bad at the game. This is when you start noticing that the game is not about just combos and the execution is much more than that. So let's talk about the actual mental layers, the two dimensions. I believe there are two dimensions for Street Fighter. The one is your inner dimension, which is all about how you handle the situation yourself. And this doesn't have anything to do with your opponent. It's about your anxiety, your nerves. So the physical things that happen to your body once a match result matters. So when you're close to being the ranked, when you're close to ranking up, for example, when you have a win streak and you don't want to lose it, otherwise you're going to start, otherwise you're going to lose your bonus points. You get tight hands, you go on autopilot, you start making mistakes. And this is a real ceiling for a lot of people. People are not able to go through this anxiety and stay calm and perform what you need to perform in order to win. So a good example is whenever you almost kill the opponent, like he has just a little bit of health, or whenever you burn out the opponent, we have this anxiety to do something, like I need to kill him fast. He only has like 1 pixel of life remaining. He only has 20 seconds before his burnout is over. So I need to use that situation in my favor. I need to win. And that's when you do mistakes. Sometimes you are in the corner, your opponent only has like, if you do like one low light move, you win, but then you get desperate and you lose and you get angry, you get pissed off. So yeah, the tilt management is real. And there's the second layer, the second dimension, which is in regards to your opponent. And this is, in my opinion, the hardest part of Street Fighter, which is reading and getting read. Every choice you make creates a pattern. Your opponent is building a model of you in real time, and good opponents will use the information you gave them against you. So the whole match is just a conversation to see who's adapting faster. I think that's why Street Fighter is a best of 3 for one match, right? The first round is just you getting to know each other. It's super random. You don't know what's gonna happen. The second round, you have an idea. So you can maybe do a comeback, or maybe your opponent can do a comeback. The third round is the decider after you guys already knew each other for a couple moves, so you have a better understanding. And that's why it's you can rematch, you can do a best of 3. I've seen multiple times. I've done that. Sometimes I win like 2-0 on an opponent, and then he requests a rematch and he stomped me, and then he requests a rematch again and he stomped me again. because even though I know what he's gonna do, I'm playing actively. I'm not playing reactively. I'm not using the information he gave me in my favor. I'm just doing my own game. I'm playing solo. I'm playing solo on an online game. And this is why Evo, I think, does a best of 3 in the first matches and a best of 5, which is first to 3 wins, for the top 8 in the championship. On a higher level, everybody have the best execution. Everybody knows all the combos, right? It's all about the read. That's why when we see a match between Daigo and Mena, it was a best of 10. It was a first to 10 rounds, because it's all about the reads. Like the first game, you're just getting to know each other. The second game is all about knowing each other, but then they have so many tools they can use, so many knowledge about each other. They have watched thousands of replays from each other, so they know how their opponent plays, and they have a lot of time to show that they can react to their opponent moves. In Japanese, I think this is called yomi, which is read in competitive gaming, when you read your opponent. So I think he'll do X, so I'll counter with Y. But then I think he knows that, so I'll do Z instead, because it's like, I'm playing rock, he thinks he knows I'm playing rock, so he's playing paper, so then I know he knows I'm playing, so I'm playing scissors. Yeah, it's basically that. So the longer the set, the more mental side. The longer the set, the more the mental side dominates the match. And in reality, this is true in basically all competitive games on a higher level. I play a lot of Counter-Strike, and once you get to a higher level, it's not about shooting heads, it's about having the best strategy. This is why we see on tournaments some teams doing some random ass strategies and it working out because they have watched the other teams replays a lot of times. And if you are from the Counter-Strike community, I think you might remember last year when Legacy won against Vitality. Vitality was a lot of months without losing a single game. And then on the major, they faced Legacy, which was an underdog. And they lost again against Legacy. Why did they lose? Was it because Legacy was better than Vitality? Some might argue yes. Some others might argue that Legacy had a whole year of Vitality's replays to watch and understand how Vitality played. But Vitality didn't have almost nothing from Legacy. So like, the reactive play is much stronger on a higher level. But in Street Fighter is a little different, because since it's a 2D environment, the variables are much smaller. The matches are short and the feedback is almost instantaneous. You can't blame your teammates, you can't blame RNG. It's just you, your mind, and the opponent. So yeah, that's why I think. Street Fighter is not a fighting game, but a mental game with fighting on top. My name is David. Comment down below what you think. Thanks for watching. Subscribe.